But our top story tonight, thousands have gathered in Varanasi to witness Prime Minister Narendra Modi's mega show of strength ahead of his filing a nomination from the Varanasi seat tomorrow. The streets of Varanasi turned into a saffron spectacle as Prime Minister Modi held a 6-kilometer long grand roadshow which culminated at the Dashwamedh Ghat where he offered prayers at the Ganga Aarti. This comes a day before the Prime Minister files his nomination papers from the constituency. Let's take a look at some of the main images from the Prime Minister's roadshow. These, of course, were the images that dominated television screens all this evening. But as Prime Minister Modi paints his turf in Varanasi saffron, we decided to move away from all the spectacle and bring you a ground report from the ancient city. We find out if really the various promises announced by the Prime Minister are actually working on the ground. Take a look.
As Prime Minister Narendra Modi stormed his constituency, the holy city of Varanasi, with much pomp and show, India Today brings you a ground report on the transformation of the city since Modi became the MP. Of the 31 projects announced by Prime Minister Modi, his pet project, Kashi Vishwanath Corridor, is underway in full swing. Around 50,000 square feet of land and 300 houses have already been acquired for the 600 crore project.
I am right at the Vishwanath temple premises where proposed corridor for Vishwanath temple is being constructed. You can just see the temples are being renovated. These are the old ruined temples. Now you can just see the construction work is going on here at the premises of Vishwanath temple in Varanasi.
Another flagship program, Namami Gange, was launched to clean up and revive the river Ganga back in 1986. Today, more than 3 decades after the plan was launched, the government claims the ancient city is set to have zero seaward discharge in the holy river by November this year.
35 साल हो गए आज तक गंगा मैया में इतनी सफाई नहीं हुई, लेकिन जब से मोदी जी ने स्वयं आकर के गंगा का निवारण किया तो आज ये आचमन और नहाने लायक पानी पीने लायक भी हो गया गंगा मैया का।
बहुत अच्छा पीने लायक, ये हमारे मोदी सरकार की देन है, इसीलिए तो हम लोग यहाँ पर साथ-साथ प्रवृत्ति हर वक्त बने रहते हैं यहीं पर।
Apart from National Highway project linking Varanasi to other areas of eastern UP, work for stormwater drainage system is also underway.
पूरा बनारस, पूरा वाराणसी बहुत ही परिवर्तित हो चुका है पहले से। पूरे गांव में, शहर में, गलियों में, गांव तक रोड से, बिजली से इतना व्यवस्था हो चुका है, पैखानों से कि सब पूरी जनता बहुत खुश है कामों से, मोदी जी के कामों से।
Kashi does not seem like Kyoto in 4 years as the Prime Minister had promised. But the city has got a 30,000 crore rupee bonanza. Will the projects, many of which require time to complete, help Modi's magic work in Varanasi and beyond? We will see. Bureau Report, India Today.
Okay, let's raise the questions that are often not raised when it comes to Prime Minister Modi. Was this in Varanasi a show of strength or simply astute political event management? Is Mr. Modi getting a walkover in Varanasi with Priyanka Gandhi withdrawing? Can Mr. Modi's popularity defeat the Akhilesh Maya combined on the ground? Is the Varanasi campaign part of Mr. Modi's unapologetic Hindutva pitch as we enter the crucial stage of this election? I'm joined by people who know a thing or two about Uttar Pradesh. Joining me now, Ajit Jha, our editor research India Today, who's just written a cover story for India Today magazine on Uttar Pradesh. You can look at that. My colleague Ashutosh joining me, former colleague, author, earlier politician, journalist, someone who knows Varanasi, comes from that part of the world. Javed Ansari, senior journalist, also comes from that part of the world, not too far away in Ghazipur. Sushmita Dev, Congress Member of Parliament, Narendra Taneja, spokesperson BJP, and I'm going to raise some of the questions with each of you. And before I come to the politicians, I want my three friends from UP to tell me how they saw what happened today. Ajit Jha, you first. Was this a political show of strength? Was it astute event management or a bit of both? Is this Mr. Modi once again trying to create this larger than life space for himself and occupy the entire media space?
Rajdeep, I think it was faced with a audacious arithmetic. This was chemistry of Mr. Modi. That's the only way they can fight with the Gathbandhan, which it seems, you know, if you do simple arithmetic, Rajdeep, 37 seats in 2014, the SP, BSP combined would have won with more than 5%. If you simply add, and the RLD. And in fact, another about 15 seats, they would have won within 5%. So I think faced with that, what I would call formidable arithmetic, Mr. Modi came out with this great chemistry, this great spectacle of Mr. Modi in Varanasi, you know, a very, very important town for Hindus, in fact, for the whole world. Very powerful symbolically. You saw the entire day spectacle of Kashi Vishwanath. Mr. Modi goes and garlands the creator of BHU. I mean, remember that famous story that there were these two families from Allahabad. One was of Nehru's, one was of Madan Mohan Malviya. One took Sanskrit education, the other took Western education, and that family Mr. Modi has taken over. Remember, Madan Mohan Malviya came from Congress. So he's done it very deftly, politically very, very, sort of, I would say, a very sort of a great subtle step. But at the same time, the challenge is the arithmetic in UP.
Okay, so you think it was about chemistry. Was it as simple as that, Ashutosh, as is being suggested? Was it simply about chemistry? Take over Varanasi, use Varanasi as a pitch to sort of send your message across the crucial eastern UP belt? Or was this, as one of my questions suggests, Mr. Modi's unapologetic Hindutva Rashtra at work? You've just written a book on it. Is this Mr. Modi saying, look, this is my spectacle, unlike a Vajpayee or a L.K. Advani, me and Amit Shah, unapologetic about our Hindutva leanings?
See, Rajdeep, I think Ajit is partly true, but my understanding is slightly different. What I feel is that Mr. Modi is a master of creating new narratives at a drop of a hat. He started with the Balakot, and then when the Balakot did not work, he again moved to the Hindu terror. Again, that's not been working because it seems Maharashtra it has completely backfired. From today, he is trying to project himself and consolidate the Hindu vote, because today the entire effort was to reinforce his image that he is a robust, masculine Hindu leader, and who can so it's that kind of image he's trying to project. And it is with this understanding he thinks that if it can neutralize the caste combination which BSP and Samajwadi Party has tried to forge. So whether it succeed or not, that's a different ballgame altogether. But what my understanding is, the more he asserts his Hindu identity, the more there is a danger of Dalits moving away from the BJP. And it is this picture which he might think will benefit him.
But let's be very clear, it benefited Mr. Modi in 2019. What is to say it won't benefit him again? Why will it not benefit him again, Ashutosh?
Because in the last 5 years, the BJP, what Mr. Modi has promised to the Dalit, that has not been seen on the ground. There is a 6-7 incident, that iconic incident, which has clearly sent a message to Dalits that BJP government at the center is not for them, but for somebody else. Take the case of SC/ST Act. Take the case of reservation in the universities, not at the university level but at the faculty level. Take the case of Rohit Babula. Take the case of the arrest under NSA to the Chandrasekhar Raman, and take the case of Una. These are the incident which has created a different kind of restlessness and anxiety among the Dalit youths, and it is this Dalit youths which is going to be very decisive in UP, and it is this which is going to be scared by this image.
Your view, Javed Ansari, on a day when Priyanka Gandhi has withdrawn effectively from the campaign in Uttar Pradesh, in Varanasi, by saying she will not contest against Mr. Modi. Mr. Modi is now occupying that entire space, once again projecting himself as this sort of invincible, larger-than-life leader who can stage a political spectacle. This is politics through spectacle.
Look, in that he has no competition. He wins head over shoulders as far as event management is concerned. Today's was a very powerful show of strength. with strong overtones of Hindutva, and I agree with my colleague Ashutosh here. This also marks a distinct shift from what he was saying earlier. Also, don't forget that tomorrow, don't forget in the day, probably in the next couple of days, he's going to be visiting Ayodhya, something that he did not do in the 2014 elections.
So you see this is a conscious attempt to polarize the electorate. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, absolutely a very distinct and calculated move to shift. I keep hearing Mr. Modi talking of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, so long as elections are not there. Whenever elections happen, whether they are general elections or state elections, then that goes out of the window. Kabristan, Shamshan, Diwali, Eid.
No, he will say, I am wearing my Hindu identity on my sleeve. I am staging a Mahaganga Aarti. What's wrong with that? He's going to say that, what's wrong with me having...
Nothing.
And television channels are showing it 24/7.
Rajdeep, where is the problem? The problem is today's CMI data has come out, and the data clearly showed that the unemployment rate has gone beyond 8%. So whether this beyond 8% unemployment in the country and this image coincide together or not?
Are you saying that, do you believe he has shifted the agenda by doing this or not?
Of course,
yes. Without doubt.
This is an attempt to shift the agenda, you're saying.
Of course,
from those core issues. Let Narendra Taneja respond. Narendra Taneja, in a way, Ashutosh and some of my guests here are, in a way, making a provocative point that all of this is part of a deliberate attempt, in a sense, to project where your Hindutva identity, Hindu identity on your sleeve in the holy spiritual city of Varanasi, and ask people, please forget for a moment unemployment, please forget agrarian distress, vote for me because I am a masculine Hindutva leader.
Well, that's your reading. That's reading of my friend Ashutosh. Listening to Ashutosh was reading the old... No, fine, listen. I mean, fine, I respect it. You see, I was just saying that they're reading and they're entitled to their views, they're reading. But listening to Ashutosh was like reading the old issues of Frontline magazine. It's okay. I mean, you are entitled to your views. But the fact is, he's a member of parliament from Varanasi. He is contesting election from there again. He made certain promises in terms of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, development. People can see the work there. He has gone back. And the people turn up to see him, to welcome him. And you call it the event management. Up to you. Call it whatever. But that's an event management by the people of Varanasi. The people were in not thousands, Rajdeep, they were in lakhs. And you still want to call it event management, you are insulting the people of Varanasi. If you still insist, I'll say, all right, the people of Varanasi, that's what they have done. Who organized the event? You are a big channel, dig out, find out which agency did that. Who did that? How much they were paid?
Okay,
otherwise,
one minute, you're asking...
Don't insult the people of Varanasi.
No, you're saying it's an insult to the people of Varanasi to call it event management. I take your point, Narendra Taneja. Let's Ashutosh, you want to respond before I go to Sushmita Dev? Yeah. According to Narendra Taneja, it's an insult to people to call it event management.
I think BJP should stop harping on this word, the insult. You take up any issue, they say this is insult. What does it mean?
He's saying that lakhs of people have come there spontaneously.
It is an event, and as somebody who has been in politics for some time knows how such events are managed, how such events are marketed, how people are brought on the street. I know for that matter.
In the studio. You have to give me a fair chance to speak.
Insult to the Banaras. Mr. Modi is going to bring Banaras hands down. There is no doubt about it.
Let them not take advantage of being the fact that they are in the studio. You have to give me a fair chance.
People around in Jaunpur, Sultanpur, Pratapgarh, Amethi, all these things, that has to be seen.
Advantage of it. That's not fair.
Very quickly respond to that.
Let me answer it.
Narendra Taneja, why don't you respond and then I'll go to Sushmita Dev. He says that this is an attempt to divert from the real issues like jobs, like agrarian distress. This is politics of spectacle.
No. That's an old leftist theory. That's old leftist argument. We respect it, but we don't listen to it.
Okay.
We don't need to pay any attention to it. Leftist, that's what it is. They keep writing that, they keep saying that, all that. Now the point here is that he made certain promises. Let's discuss that. Whether Varanasi has been transformed to a very great extent or not. We can go project by project. I just spent 4 days there. I'm happy to discuss project by project. And also this thing, saying that, event management. I have done an MBA. I know what is event management. I know the definition of event management. You see, the point here is if you want to call it event management, then you have to give me the details. Who organized it? Who delivered it? How much did it cost? Those are the details you have to share with your viewer. That was a spontaneous response of the people of Varanasi. They were very happy with their representative in Lok Sabha. They were there to greet him and thank him for the job. At the same time, to see him and also to basically listen what he has to say in terms of future for the Varanasi. He is member of parliament. If you can't respect that, don't call it event management. But if you still insist that was an event management by the people of Varanasi, if you insist that it was done by some corporate, you are insulting them.
Okay.
There is no other word in dictionary.
Sir, let's be honest, all events are not only staged by corporates also. Just a minute. Sushmita Dev, now respond. You've been very silent. Now you respond, because I want to ask you, at the end of the day, the Congress has vacated that space. Even Priyanka Gandhi has decided she will not contest now from Varanasi. Mr. Modi is occupying the space. Why can't the Congress stage an event like this? Who stops Rahul Gandhi from staging a similar event in Amethi or indeed in Mumbai, where elections are on 29? You stage a road show, TV channels will carry that as well.
I think Priyanka Gandhi has been conducting a road show on almost a daily basis. I don't know how many of you are covering it, but it's all over social media. Rahul Gandhi ji is campaigning on a daily basis. I mean, whether the channels choose to cover it is another thing. See, the point is, Rajdeep, that there's this huge so-called show of strength in Banaras by the Prime Minister of India. But the fact is that there are a lot of questions that remain unanswered when it comes to the development agenda of Banaras. To give one example, he started his rally from the Banaras Hindu University. And I recall that day when the UP police entered the girls' hostel and beat them black and blue. All the channels were covering it all night. Prime Minister Modi had nothing to say about it. 84 ghats was supposed to be renovated and fixed. Only 70 crore rupees has been sanctioned for it. So these are questions which the Prime Minister will have to answer. Doesn't matter how many kilometers his road show is and how many crores he spent on it.
Prime Minister is so vulnerable in Varanasi, challenge him.
And there's absolutely no denying that.
But if you feel that the Prime Minister has not done enough for Varanasi, you should challenge him by putting up Ajay Rai, someone who's been defeated in the past. You had an opportunity. And I come back to it. You also, your leaders don't do interviews. Your leaders don't seem to know how to manage the media narrative. The Prime Minister does.
Is Ajay Rai the only candidate? Is Ajay Rai the only candidate in the 2019 election who lost in 14 and has stood? Smriti Irani is one of them. She also lost 14. She's standing again in 19. So I think it's very unfair to say just because he lost last time, to give him an opportunity again is to basically give Prime Minister Modi a walkover. Listen, doesn't matter what the news coverage has been today. The fact is there is data out there to say cleaning of Ganga has not been as per expectations. Repairing of the ghats and making Banaras into an international tourist destination hasn't happened. We've seen reports of a bridge breaking down in the middle of the construction. When it happens in West Bengal, BJP makes a big hue and cry about it. So I'm sorry, these issues are going to come up in Banaras as and when the election kicks off after nomination and withdrawal, and Prime Minister can't run away from these issues. Where is the smart city? He said he's going to make it into Kyoto. What happened? Do you see it happening in Banaras? So it is just to camouflage all this that today there is this contrived crowd and this 6 kilometer or 7 kilometer long rally which is not going to be able to hide these failures of Prime Minister Modi in his own constituency.
Okay, let me for a moment step back again from the politicians. You've been traveling through UP. Is there a sense that these spectacles influence voters, or are they going back to their caste identities, or are they asking questions that are being asked here about cleaning Ganga, which was promised, not completed yet, about the fact that Eastern UP has no industries and no jobs at the moment? Are these questions being asked? Or is it still about the fact that they believe in Mr. Modi as a leader who may deliver one day, the larger-than-life leader? He has that, the nationalist macho hero.
Well, Rajdeep, whenever you move around UP, you hear of local issues by local people. And jobs, rural distress is central. Also, for example, if you go to Moradabad, the brass industry is completely tossed. So you find people talking about that. You move to other parts, you go to Pilibhit, you meet people who say ki Basuri ka trade khatam ho gaya. So people do talk about that. The trouble is that the political parties are harping on certain issues. For example, in the case of BJP, they have harped on the security issue. In the case of Congress, the Nyay issue becomes the main issue. The local issues are not very well covered. But going back to Varanasi once more, see, the Prime Minister, it's not completely event management. He has a certain connect with the people. Whether we call it Hindu, whether we call it Indic, doesn't matter. He has a powerful connect. Now that connect, Congress leaders, opposition leaders need to bring about.
That's exactly it. When Priyanka Gandhi Vadra decided not to contest, after having given indication that she was ready, what's the message that's gone out? The message perhaps that's gone out is either that she feels that she's not in a position to take on Mr. Modi, or as Ajit is pointing out, Mr. Modi has a connect, which the Congress leaders today don't have in the same part of the country.
Well, there is no denying the fact that Mr. Modi has a connect which cuts across caste barriers. In UP, and belong to Eastern UP, let me tell you that what matters most, unfortunately, is caste. When it comes to pushing that button on the EVM machine, it's caste and community considerations. As far Mr. Modi is one of those leaders who's able to cut across these barriers, especially where Varanasi is concerned. But whether he'll be able to do it across the state of Uttar Pradesh, my feedback from people that I know and who live there is slightly different. The SP and the BSP are a very formidable combination, and the BJP will be very hard put to win even half the number of seats that it won in 2014.
The fact therefore is that Narendra Taneja, we have got two narratives playing out here. One is Mr. Modi's narrative, look, I've got this connect with Varanasi, I've contested there, I am building this corridor from the Ghats to Kashi Vishwanath temple. I'm trying to spruce up the city. It's not Kyoto, far from it, but it is, most people would say, there has been an effort to improve the quality of life in Varanasi. But my question to you is, today was Mr. Modi's rally about his connect with Varanasi, or simply a show of strength to build momentum into the next 4 rounds? And use perhaps the entire television machine across news channels, ensure that this was a live event. You don't like the word event management, let me call it a live event that was playing out largely as a show of strength, because the crucial rounds are now coming out.
No. You see, the point is, let's not forget one thing. Varanasi is a magical city. If you go to Varanasi, especially if you go in the evening, see the Aarti, go to these ghats, it's a magical city. I mean, if the Prime Minister is there with lakhs and lakhs and lakhs people out there to see him, and certainly if you are a television channel, you are interested in it. You want to show it, because it's really beautiful to look at the pictures and look at a leader who is so popular in his constituency. That's what it was. And we can't take away the fact, you keep on saying Kyoto. I've been to Kyoto at least 10 times. Look at Varanasi today. Last short period of 5 years, Varanasi to very great extent has been transformed. And you have to acknowledge one fact, Rajdeep. All these years since Congress was in power, they neglected all holy cities. Amritsar, Ajmer, Kashi, Mathura, Rishikesh, Haridwar, Bhubaneswar. They neglected each one of them. All, whether Hindu, Muslim, Sikhs. They neglected, because they said we are a secular state, and they neglected. But here is a Prime Minister, he's a member of parliament from Varanasi, who says, no, I'm a Hindu, I'm an Indian, and I care for it. And he is there to transform, and people love it. What's wrong with it?
Okay,
you may have for ideological reasons, some of you may disagree with it, and I respect that. It's your view.
Someone who's grown up in Varanasi counter you on that.
But that's not the case.
Who's lived and grown up in that part of the world. Ashutosh, yes.
Rajdeep, I was born in Banaras and I lived for some years in Banaras. I can tell you, Banaras is a historical city. Banaras doesn't need grandeur. Banaras needs to be identified for the spirituality. Anybody who's saying that will transform Banaras to the Kyoto, I think it is the insult to Banaras. Because Banaras is the oldest city in the entire world, comes to Banaras to feel the spirituality.
Has Narendra Modi transformed Banaras? Do you believe that this corridor which is being built from Kashi Vishwanath, which has led to demolition, I know, of shops along the way, but Mr. Modi is saying this is going to be a new Banaras.
Rajdeep, Banaras doesn't need to be transformed. Banaras needs to be cleaned. Banaras doesn't need roads to be broadened. Banaras needs to be preserved. Because Banaras is India. Banaras is Hindu.
Why was not Banaras clean earlier? When your government was in power, when you people were in power, why did you clean it? Why didn't you clean it when you guys were in power?
One by one, please.
Why did you do that?
1 minute,
When you were in power, why did you do that? Why did you neglect Varanasi?
Mr. Taneja, just a minute.
Why didn't you neglect?
Just a
when
minute.
they were in power, they did nothing.
Okay, just
now
a minute.
They're giving long
Mr.
lectures.
Taneja, I will...
What did they do when they were in power?
One by
when they were in
you
power,
were given enough time to let him respond.
What did you do?
Have people on the show, you've given your answer, let him respond. Yes.
I'm also Hindu, Narenji. You should realize this. I'm born in Banaras, I lived in Banaras. And people go to Banaras to feel the spirituality which is the heart of Hindu civilization. You are not making, you are not transforming Banaras. You are killing Banaras by killing the heritage of Hindus. The Banaras doesn't need to be transformed. Banaras needs to be cleaned. I think you have to understand that. Please.
Okay, you made your point. Yes, Javed Ansari.
Banaras has fallen far short of expectations.
Allow me to rebut now.
And what has happened is far short of expectations. Let Mr. Taneja tell me.
Mr. Taneja says during the Congress rule, Banaras and holy cities were ignored.
Well, that's for Sushmita Dev to answer. It's not for me. I belong to Banaras. Let Mr. Taneja tell me if they've added one hospital bed in Varanasi. Have they built one new hospital in Varanasi? The only decent hospital there is BHU, and which was built,
years ago.
It was built in Jawaharlal Nehru's time. It wasn't built in...
So you're saying schools, hospitals, industry has not come to Banaras?
Have they created one extra job in Varanasi? Which new big industry has come to Varanasi? The sari trade, the carpet trade, all that, the bangles, all that was there long before Mr.
Okay, before you respond, Narendra Taneja, I also want Sushmita Dev to respond to the charge you made that the Congress ignored the holy cities.
Give me chance.
Let her respond. I will give everyone equal chance. Respond to the charge that the Congress ignored holy cities. Ms. Dev.
Listen, as far as the BJP is concerned, Rajdeep Sardesai,
yes.
Before Prime Minister Modi became the Prime Minister, nothing happened in this country. So let alone developing holy places or other places. The fact is Prime Minister Modi going to the 19 election on the basis of what Congress has done and not done? Or is he going to give a report card of his 2014 vision document, which he released only for Banaras? Let's talk about that. Because if his agenda is to go there and say, oh, Congress did nothing for holy cities, then I think he's in for a very rough ride. Please look at, please, if the BJP spokesperson has, give us a report card. How much, what is the percentage of work that you have progressed in cleaning the Ganga? How much have you spent on smart cities? Okay, why is it that in Banaras, students were beaten in Banaras Hindu University, girls were beaten by the police, Prime Minister did nothing? And all the questions that Mr. Ansari has asked, why don't you answer those questions?
Okay,
you're hardly going to get off from your roadshow and start saying, oh, Congress did nothing here.
Okay, the feeling, there is one view, Mr. Taneja, that the Prime Minister comes to Banaras principally to stage this kind of spectacle. Priyanka Gandhi Vadra made the charge that he has not been to the villages in and around Banaras, where also Banaras, which is also part of the constituency, he has not done enough for industry or health or education, the so-called real issues. And then you come once in 5 years before the election with a singular purpose, according to his critics, to reinforce his Hindu identity and polarize the voters. Now you tell me, should there be a report card put out of what the Prime Minister has done and not been able to do in Banaras? Yes, he has made some achievements, but there are some failures. Yes or no? Should there be an honest report card or not?
No. Give me a chance now. You see, the point is the Prime Minister went last time to Varanasi, for Lok Sabha on this promise that we'll bring progress and we will transform. The Kyoto was coined that time. And now it's for the people. He has gone back to the people And Ashutosh may have been born there. I was born in Agra, not in Varanasi, and I know something about the old cities. The point is Varanasi belongs to everyone. You don't necessarily need to be born there. The fact is the Prime Minister and Member of Parliament from Varanasi promised something to the people there. He did. The cancer hospital is the new addition there. There are so many new things. Solar power plants are new addition. The infrastructure, the roads, and of course the corridor and so on and so forth. It's a long list. But it's for the people of Varanasi. Ashutosh can go there and vote against the Prime Minister. That's okay. But let's see whether the people of Varanasi, when you see the results on the 23rd of May, they agree with your panelists or they disagree with them. Chances are they will disagree with them completely, and the Prime Minister is going to come back with a thumping majority, and they will be going. And I respect their view, but it's the Prime Minister and his work and the transformation which is going to win. You will see on the 23rd of May.
Okay, in fact,
in democracy, people decide.
The Prime Minister will be Varanasi, but this is not just about Varanasi. This is in a sense, and not just about an election. This is about the way an election campaign is being fought. There is a sense that the entire opposition is getting squeezed out. Day after day, yesterday Akshay Kumar, today the roadshow, the Prime Minister day by day monopolizes the entire media space and through it the narrative. How is that a level playing field?
Well, let me make 2 points here, Rajdeep. A, on the issue of, being... Mr. Modi is a modernizer. I mean, take the 2 cities, Allahabad through Kumbh has been majorly transformed, I would argue. I mean, today when you go to Allahabad, Prayagraj, as they call it, it's a different city with new flyovers. A lot of the expenditure of Kumbh actually went into modernizing Allahabad. Similarly, Varanasi. I first went to Varanasi in my life in 1987. And when I went to the Vishwanath temple, it was difficult to enter. There is an element of gentrification that is going on there. 46,000 crore was pledged by the Prime Minister. They claim that 30,000 crore has been spent. You talked about the entire corridor linking these ghats, and 230 structures have been broken.
And there will be those who will contrast that with perhaps how much has been put into Amethi or Rai Bareli, which were also VVIP controversial.
The other idea, Rajdeep, is that Eastern UP's per capita income used to be half that of Western UP. So when Yogi Adityanath was made the Chief Minister, who comes from Gorakhpur, the idea was to make Uttar Pradesh Uttam Pradesh. He has to transform Eastern UP to the level of Western UP. That attempt has been made, which it wasn't made in the time of Akhilesh Yadav or former Chief Minister. In fact,
very quickly, yes.
The attempt has been made in Varanasi.
But Allahabad and Gorakhpur and Ayodhya.
No, what's happened in Gorakhpur? What's happened in Gorakhpur? Mr. Adityanath has been MP 5 times. What's happened? Japanese encephalitis breaks out every time. Infants die there for want of oxygen. And yet
he's making an attempt.
Where is the attempt?
There is an attempt.
Rajdeep, I belong to Ghazipur. Where is the attempt? It used to take me an hour and a half to get there. From Varanasi now it takes me 3.5 hours.
But where is the attempt? But Mayawati could argue she gave the the Delhi Agra expressway, and that has transformed in a sense this part of Uttar Pradesh. A lot of the expressways also came up when Akhilesh Yadav came. I'm just asking, where is the space for the opposition in any of this of the debate? The debate seems centered around one man. Even right through today's conversation, it's all about Narendra Modi. Is that been his biggest success? He's made this election about himself, and every time he's out there in Varanasi, it becomes about him.
Rajdeep, there is a different model altogether, because Mr. Modi believes that the more TV space he occupies, the better leader he is. But there is also a model of Naveen Patnaik. He doesn't be seen on the television, but he has been winning election after election without saying anything. So these are 2 different models. My perception is, and my understanding as a TV professional is that the more you are seen on the television, the more mystic you are losing. And I think it's getting overkill, and somebody...
You're saying there's an overkill of Narendra Modi.
There is an overkill on the Modi, because the irritation factor gets into your mind.
But
because all the time
makes our media irrelevant. If you are saying that being in the media is actually, not being a great leader, then the whole media becomes irrelevant in a modern democracy.
What is to stop? And Sushmita Dev, what is to stop Rahul Gandhi from also trying to do media events? Why does Rahul Gandhi, nobody has stopped Rahul Gandhi from staging media events, Sushmita Dev?
Well, I don't think Rahul Gandhi shies away from media events. He's done more press conferences than any other leader at the national level, Rajdeep, and you know that. But I agree with Ashutosh. We've seen the India shining moment. This time it's not going to be Modi wave. The more the channels show him, there's going to be Modi fatigue that's going to hit India this time. Please mark my words. No. Because you see, the more you push the Prime Minister's persona and his rallies, you see the people, the weaver who's suffering, the farmer who's suffering, the woman who got raped in Unnao are going to say that do we matter or not? And they will speak. There's no television time that can suppress the voices of these people who are victims of the last 5 years of Modi Raj.
That's your hope.
You cannot.
Yes, very
that's
yes,
the conviction, Rajdeep.
There is very little empirical evidence to show.
I mean, India shining happened.
That TV footage.
Okay, you're saying this is Modi shining. This is Modi shining part 2. India shining. This is Modi shining.
There's very little empirical evidence to show that this is working to his disadvantage. So far, this has worked to Mr. Modi's advantage. I have been to villages and a lot of people say, "Kya kiya hai? ये हमें नहीं पता, लेकिन TV ने कहा है क्या."
It's nice to know you believe in empirical evidence.
Okay, let me give a final word to you, Narendra Taneja. Let me give you a final word. You know, again provocative from Sushmita Dev. All of this is Modi shining part 2. Yesterday with Akshay Kumar, today a soft focus interview speaking about how a mango is cut. Today out on the road. This is all designed to create this impression of a Modi shining, the one-man show in India. How do you respond to that?
He has no real answers.
Okay, let him quickly respond.
Well, one man, Modi shining. I mean, you are a journalist, Rajdeep. You are yes. Modi shining, or call it whatever. You are a journalist, you are entitled, you can do that. But the fact for us is a very simple. Bharatiya Janata Party is a very, big organization. It's a very disciplined, well organized with structures, and it's the organization. It's about the organization led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. When you, for instance, you can get irritated because you think, oh, what's happening? He's going to win again. So you are upset, you are irritated. Fine, you do that.
There's no skin off our back.
We have no issue with that. But the point is, as a political party, we have to communicate with the people. Okay. All that we do, right from the Prime Minister to the Aam Karyakarta, we use every possible platform, including the technology, in order to connect.
That's an interesting point. Mr. Modi has redefined political communication. Let's be honest, earlier political leaders also had the opportunity. I keep repeating, nobody stops the Congress.
Cry like a child.
I take your point, Mr. Taneja.
Lots of money.
Don't come and cry like a child.
Okay, don't cry like a child. Mr. Modi has redefined political communication.
Absolutely. If television could win election for Mr. Modi, we will get
television studio mein.
We can't compete with your money
TV
power.
Could define, if just monopolizing. The point is very simple. It is not that he's a great communicator. The point is that he's a great manager. He's a great media manager.
So see, but that's politics, right? Politics. At the end of the day, he may be a PhD in political communication.
That is where the failure of the opposition lies. Mr. Modi, not a single word could be said against Mr. Modi across the TV channels. But on a daily basis, opposition leaders are rubbished. Now, that's I call the media management.
Okay.
Rajdeep, what I feel is Mr. Modi is, he has a great charisma. I mean, he's the Pied Piper. The entire sort of his followers are behind him. What prevents other opposition leaders from, building up that? In fact, in the Congress, perhaps the most charismatic personality seemed to be potentially Priyanka Gandhi. Why is it that the Congress made her withdraw from this contest? They would have had she has an extraordinary connect. I mean, she's, about 25 years younger than Mr. Modi. There is a potential there. But the Congress did not take that risk. Mr. Modi, he knows that
she has run away.
He faces a certain
arithmetic, has run away.
But takes the risk of playing on his chemistry, I would argue.
Okay, so Mr. Modi is playing on his chemistry.
She's not run away. She's working hard in UP, and that's what's worrying you.
Okay. Well, we've got different styles of doing politics.
She has run away.
This is the Modi wave. Our debate has gone well over. We'll have to keep Mr.
Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka ji, dono bhag gaye.
Another day. Okay, I appreciate all of you joining us on the show.
She's giving you a run for your money. That's why Prime Minister is going hysterical.
Okay.
We'll see.
I believe the entire district administration today has been in a way lined up to ensure that this event was a big success. We wonder where the resources come from. Whenever these events take place, Mr. Taneja, I just wonder, one thing is clear, BJP has no shortage of resources. I hope you'll agree on that.
Extortion.
Okay, no,
the people are our resources. People of India are our
people
resource.
of India. Let's leave
the
it.
People of India, they are the...
Yesterday it was a scripted soft focus interview with Akshay Kumar. Today Team Narendra Modi has staged yet another well choreographed multimedia event in Varanasi. By monopolizing the media space for hours on end, Mr. Modi has proven himself to be a master of prime time and event management. In 2014, the Modi Everywhere media strategy ensured he remained top of the mind with the voter across North India in particular and crowded out his opponents. Now he has the added advantage of state control on his side. Virtually the entire Varanasi administration has been involved in staging Mr. Modi's show of strength. With Priyanka Gandhi Vadra having opted out of taking on Mr. Modi in Varanasi, the Congress has sent out mixed signals yet again. Clearly, Mr. Modi will hope to get the political momentum ahead of the crucial phases that begin next week. But I have a question to ask that may seem inconvenient to some. Has political campaigning in this country become a saffron spectacle for a supreme leader who is an unapologetic masculine Hindutva leader? And where does that leave the debate on real issues? From jobs in eastern UP to, yes, cleaning up the Ganga. That's it. On the show tonight, we've had an extended debate on a day when Prime Minister Modi has hogged all the headlines. It appears, at least for now, that the Namo TV virus is catching. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you will love to.